Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Dana Marie McNichol. Let's get straight to some breaking news. This morning, a Post Falls police officer is recovering in the hospital after being shot in the line of duty. The shooting happened near Bentley and First. Overnight, police established a wide barrier around the area. Nicole Hernandez is joining us live now near the scene with more information on what happened.
Yeah, good morning, Dana Marie. So like you can see, there is still an area of Bentley closed off behind me here. I'll let you take a look at what officers are doing here. They've been roaming around this area for hours now. There's some more officers just on the other side of this house that you cannot see. Now, at this point, though, we only know that there are detectives in the area working this scene, but we do not know whether or not this standoff has completely ended or whether police have arrested anyone or not. We have talked to both Kootenai County Sheriffs and Coeur d'Alene Police Department, and they've not been able to tell us much about what's going on this morning. They are busy working this scene, of course, but I want to give you a look at what this scene looked like last night. So this started with officers trying to arrest someone on a misdemeanor warrant. That's when a man started shooting at them from inside of a house. Now, one of the officers did get hit below his bulletproof vest. He was taken to the hospital. It was flashbangs, a drone, a helicopter all night long, working yesterday to get that man who shot at officers out of his house. Just before 11 last night, that man had barricaded himself inside his home with SWAT surrounding the house. Kootenai County Sheriff's officer told us SWAT was trying to negotiate with him to come out. The Kootenai County Sheriff also says they have everything under control.
There's really no danger to the community at this point. It's a contained situation.
As for the officer, he is in the hospital recovering from surgery now. Sheriff Wolfinger says he should make a full recovery, but at this point we still do not know who that officer is. Now again, back out here live, you can see there are officers here. This block is taped off. Earlier this morning, we had more roads closed. First, Lincoln and Bentley were all closed, but now First and Lincoln have opened back up, and this small block portion of Bentley Place is the only area closed now. So as for your morning commute, everything should pan out fine there. I'll send things back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for that update. Well, the injured officer is expected to make a full recovery. Overnight, he went into emergency surgery. Authorities say he was shot below his bulletproof vest. Right now, we do not know his identity. And breaking news this morning, billionaire Mike Bloomberg is ending his presidential bid. Bloomberg released a statement saying he would be leaving the race and endorsing Joe Biden. His statement in part reads, "3 months ago, I entered the race for president to defeat Donald Trump. Today, I'm leaving the race for the same reason, to defeat Donald Trump, because it is clear to me that staying in would achieve that goal, achieving that goal more difficult." And this morning, we have the latest information on the coronavirus outbreak, and we want to continue separating the facts from fear to show you there is no need to panic. 27 people have tested positive for the novel coronavirus in Washington. 9 people have died in King and Snohomish counties. 231 people are under a public health supervision. The number of people under public health supervision includes those at risk of having been exposed to the novel coronavirus. The Colville School District, which remains closed today. The school has been closed since Monday as a person awaits coronavirus test results. The district has 2 companies disinfecting school buildings. The cleaning is expected to be complete today. Spokane Public Schools do not have any current plans to bring in more janitors amid the coronavirus outbreak. Right now, 1 janitor completes dayside cleaning at each school. Leaders say they employ 22 fill-in custodians. Right now, workers are focusing on disinfecting high-touch areas. They also have extra cleaning supplies on hand for classrooms. An Amazon employee at Seattle's South Lake Union headquarters tested positive for coronavirus. The company notified employees who had close contact with the patient. A company spokesperson says the employee is now in quarantine. Experts say coronavirus can spread between people who are in close contact about 6 feet away from each other. They say it mainly is spread through respiratory droplets. Doctors say they are produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes, similar to the flu. And it's a common habit for all of us, and sometimes we do it without even thinking about it, touching our face. Let's connect the dots on new warnings from health leaders surrounding the coronavirus. Health officials agree the best way to prevent the coronavirus is also the most simple. Wash your hands and don't touch your face. But that simple advice may also be the hardest for humans to follow. Let's connect the dots. The reason you've been told not to touch your face is because that is one of the easiest places for the new coronavirus to enter your body. Most cases of the COVID-19 so far have started in a patient's eye, nose, or mouth. But here's the problem. According to a 2015 study, we touch our face on an average 24 times an hour. And nearly half of all of that touching involves contact with your eyes, nose, and mouth. Before you give up, doctors say there's a way to stop yourself. Because it's a habit, you should wear something on your hands or face to remind you to stop the automatic action. If you must touch your face, use a Kleenex over your fingers. Connecting the dots, I'm Dana Marie McNichol. And two terms you've probably heard a lot over the past few weeks are quarantine and isolation. Those are two different things. Quarantine means separating a person or a group of people who have been exposed to contagious disease, but have not developed symptoms from others who have been exposed. This is in order to prevent the possible spread of that disease. Meanwhile, isolation is used to separate sick people from healthy people. And the recent outbreak has many of you asking, do I need to wear a mask? Experts say the answer is no. Center for Disease Control and Prevention leaders do not recommend routine use of masks. Instead, they say avoid people who are sick and avoid touching your face. They also encourage people to cover their cough or sneeze with a tissue. They say sick people should stay home. And many travelers are asking, what is the risk of getting coronavirus on an airplane? Now, according to the CDC, most viruses and germs do not spread easily on airplanes because of how air circulates and how it's filtered. Although the risk level is low, travelers should avoid contact with sick passengers. All right, 7:37 now. We'll send it over to Evan for our forecast.
Good morning, Dana Marie. We are windy as we start off our Wednesday morning. Things are mostly dry through especially Washington and Idaho, but take a look at your sustained speeds out there. 17-mile-an-hour winds in Spokane, 15 in Coeur d'Alene, and 17 in Ritzville. A breezy start to the day where we'll see those winds likely begin to taper off toward the noon hour. So between now and noon, expect breezy conditions to persist. Temperatures as you head out the door, mainly in the 30s, couple 40s on there, especially off towards central Washington with Moses Lake at 40 degrees. Pullman at 39 and Sandpoint at 39, but seeing a lot more sun than Pullman is. As we look at satellite radar, we're seeing mostly dry conditions. Make sure to keep an eye on what we've got going on around western Montana and Idaho, but the emphasis on that is that it's happening up toward mainly the higher elevations, those mountains, the ski resorts, the mountain passes, so not really in many residential areas or in the metro areas as well. If you do see those snow showers, feel free to send pictures of them our way, and you can send them to 509-448-2000. What we see going on over the next several hours is dry skies persisting. We'll talk about some wet weather that comes our way toward the weekend in just a bit. Dana Marie.
Thank you so much, Evan. Lori Eisenberg pleaded not guilty to murdering her husband. The North Idaho woman is accused of fatally poisoning him in 2018. Authorities found his body in Lake Coeur d'Alene in 2018. A later autopsy revealed he had a fatal amount of Benadryl in his system. Right now, she's being held on a $2 million bond. The Spokane County Medical Examiner identified the victim of a grisly murder. They say a 24-year-old Michaela Young died from multiple stab wounds. Police arrested two men on second-degree murder charges. Both pleaded not guilty. And Boise leaders banned drivers from using cell phones behind the wheel. It gained unanimous approval last night in Idaho's capital city. Drivers can still use cell phones connected through Bluetooth. Drivers caught breaking the law will face a $90 fine. This ban passed in Boise, but Idaho legislators is currently considering a distracted driving bill that could make handheld devices illegal statewide. Well, that's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media. And if you're just joining us, we're tracking breaking news this morning. A Post Falls police officer is recovering in the hospital after being shot in the line of duty. Police say the suspect wanted in the shooting is in a standoff in Post Falls. The suspect officers were trying to arrest the suspect on a misdemeanor warrant when the man started shooting at them. Overnight, police established a wide barrier around the area near Bentley and First. And this morning, we want to reiterate, investigators say the officer is expected to be okay. Right now, we do not know the identity. 7:40 now. Up next, some media outlets were calling winners in yesterday's primary before the polls even closed. How could that be accurate? Well, we'll verify.